Hey, good afternoon guys, Tush coming at you. It's Monday, June 26th, and we're just coming up to 1 p.m. We're on the way down the other side of the mountainside now. We're on T-minus 83, yesterday being the halfway point, if you didn't see the video. Had a good day in the garage with Ellen Yakov, who came up to visit, so that was a really fun day, and we got a bit accomplished on the car, which was good. Another crappy day outside today. It's barely 20 degrees Celsius. It's probably 19 degrees Celsius. It's actually really chilly and damp in the garage today. Anyway, we're out here. So, as I mentioned yesterday, we ran out of gas and wire for the MIG welder. So, first thing I did this morning was to go and get another tank of gas. And we got some more MIG wire, so I've just installed that in the machine. I also picked up a whole bunch of more consumable stuff, so grinding discs and cutting wheels and stuff. So we're probably going to outfit a few of the grinders with some new discs. This flap disc has just about had it, so we're going to replace that. Before we go any further, I've got another Dremel that needs some work, so we're going to work on those tools first. We're going to give the garage a bit of a sweep up before we continue on. And then we'll figure out what we want to do in the car. I think what we're going to do is got a small hole here to fix up, and I believe there's some holes in the kickboard down here, so I know I can see light shining through it at occasional points. So we'll have a quick look and see if we can repair that fairly quickly. Alright guys, we'll be back in a little bit. Alright guys, we've had a pretty good cleanup in here, and we moved the body over towards the center of the garage a bit more. It was a little tight on the left hand side for me. I think what we're going to do is something easy to start with. So I'm not going to be running a radio stereo in this car, and I did have an antenna installed, so what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this hole where the antenna was, and the four screw mounting points are going to be disappearing shortly. So we're going to sand that down or grind that down, and we'll fit a piece of metal in there and plug up those holes. Gotta be done. Alright guys, we've moved to the rear passenger side wheel well again. We're going to try to finish that up tonight. So I've got a small repair to do here, so we're just going to cut a square out here and we'll put fresh metal in there. And then we've got to repair this flange area down here, this part of the inner wheel well, which is kind of an L-shaped patch. So we're going to basically weld it to the inner fender and then weld it to this flange at the back by using some plug welds. So that's it guys. Oh, I did finish that, I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not, but antenna hole is now closed up and ground down, so a little bit of filler over that and we'll be good to go. Anyway, we'll make a template and cut a patch and weld it in there. Alright guys, we just been plugging away at it, literally. So we've got the two repair areas done. So we're just going to go ahead and grind them down, and then we'll move on to another section. I did add some more welds to my bump stop box, so I think that's pretty much finished now. So I think we're almost done this area. Anyway, we'll move on to something else after we finish grinding this. Maybe I'll give you a quick shot of that, and then we'll go somewhere else. Probably to the other side. Alright guys, no idea what time it is, but quick update for you. So that patch is now ground down, and this is now ground down as far as I want to go anyway. So I'm going to call that wheel well done. And we still need to do the structure on the inside that we removed here on the bottom, and the triangular piece and the piece that attaches to the top, but we'll work on that at a later time. Alright guys, we'll move on to something else. Probably fix that patch on the other side. Alright guys, just coming up to 20 to 10. I've just had a quick bite of dinner, so that was good. Now we're back out in the garage, not tired yet, so we'll continue on. So now we're on the driver's side wheel well, and we're going to repair this little area where we drilled some spot welds out. So all I'm going to do is really trim the center out, and I'm going to fit a small patch in here and weld that in. So nothing too crazy, but something that needs to be done. So we're just going to work on that now. Alright guys, one more hole down, so happy about that. So we're going to move on to a different area of the car. I'm just trying to decide where I want to go to. I know these rear taillight pockets need a lot of work. Now whether I can rescue these or not, that's another story. We'll have to, maybe I'll do a little work back there and see if I can strip them a little bit to see how much brazing is on them before I decide whether I can actually weld something to them. So maybe we'll do a little bit of discovery work on those taillight nacelles, I'm going to call them, before we decide what we're going to do as far as tackling those is concerned. I know you can buy those pieces for, I think they're about 80 bucks US a side, which is about 100 and something bucks Canadian per side, but we'll rescue these if we can. So here are the taillight pockets in a little more detail. You can see they're pretty eaten up. They're not in the greatest of shape. The inside flange is not bad, but the outside is quite a bit worse for wear, including this flange piece up the top. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind a little bit here, and we're going to see what is underneath here, underneath this rust. I have a feeling it's going to be a lot of brazing, which will be a problem for me. So let's see what we uncover. Alright guys, we've cut that section out, and it looks like I might be able to find a good enough edge to weld to. So I'm not going to attempt that tonight though. I'm getting kind of tired. It's 10:30 right now, so I don't know if I want to start another welding job tonight, so I think we're just going to leave it there. That'll be the first project we tackle in the morning, and I'll be able to get the garage door open beside me, and I'll be able to get a bit more light on the subject as well. It's fairly dark over here. Anyway, we'll get that top patch done, and then we'll see what we want to do with this bottom here, because obviously it's pretty lacy. I don't know if you can see that down on the bottom here as well. So anyway, we'll concentrate on the first part of the top part of the patch first, and then we'll work our way down. So that's it for tonight, guys. We'll get out here tomorrow and we'll play around some more. Hey, good morning, guys. Tush coming at you. Tuesday, June 27th, just after 11 a.m. Got the compressor charging up. We are at T-minus 82. Just outside looking at my neighbor here who's having some landscaping done. And I can just imagine how much this is costing. They've been here for a week or so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trucks from the company, plus heavy equipment in the driveway. It's got to be expensive. Could have probably built a TR250 instead. Anyway, we're back on this rear tail light nacelle that we cut that area out of yesterday. We got the compressor charging up because I'm going to do a little bit of spot sandblasting here just to see that we've got some good metal underneath all that pitting. So that's what we're going to do first. We're just going to give it a quick blast. Then we'll put that top patch in there. And then, like I mentioned last night, we've got a little bit more patching to do on the bottom, if that top patch goes in successfully. Anyway, we'll bring you back in a little bit. Alright guys, quick update for you. It's just coming up to 12:25 or so. So we've got that top patch in and it's looking pretty good. It's right on the edge of the brazing, so it's a little bit of a tough welding job, but we got her done. So we've now moved on to this bottom area, and I've cut the bottom out, and you can see how bad this area is. So what's going to happen is I think I'm going to have to cut it back all the way to this flange. I've just cleaned up to find hopefully good metal here. So I think we're going to have to cut it back and make a flange and bend it over. So I found out that when I started grinding on this, it's pretty much all, you know, just holy metal, but they've bondoed on the inside. Now you can see, you know, as soon as I started grinding on it, I could see all the bondo melting, you know, that was stuck through to the holes. So we've just cut that out, and like I said, we'll make a new patch for it with a flange, and we'll weld that back in there. So like I said, we're going to cut it back to here, make a flange, and go across. Hopefully that'll work. So we're going to go ahead and cut that out. Alright, so there's a quick look of it with that piece cut out. So we'll go ahead and we'll start trying to make a new flange and a new piece. We'll probably trim this up a little bit better on the bottom here, but we'll make a piece that wraps around all the way down to the bottom. We'll try anyway. Alright guys, quick update for you just after 3 p.m. And that flange is now done and looks pretty good, I think. So hopefully the tail light will fit in there. I did take the measurements off the other side, so I'm pretty sure we're okay. It actually made even a little wireframe jig for the bottom of it, just to make sure that I was the same as the other side. We will, before we paint the car, we will dig the tail lights out and make sure they fit and I don't have to do any rework. But for now I think it's okay. So we're just about to tackle this top spot here and fix this flange. Now I've looked at the other side and I was looking at the fender bolt holes and I'm trying to determine whether this is a bolt hole or not. Regardless, I think what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to fix this flange completely. If I need to drill a hole for a bolt hole, I will. It looks to me that the bolt hole ends at this one on the passenger side, although there's no guarantee that's right either. So since there's been a lot of work done on this car, seems to me there should be one back here. I believe I can reach it, so I would think there'd be a bolt back here just to keep the rear fender secure and that beading in place. But we, like I said, we're going to fill it for now. We'll drill it if need be afterwards. So going to cut this along the top. Again, there's more brazing in here, unfortunately, so we'll cut it past the brazing and make a flange over. Of course, more brazing patches, and if you recall, this is the very first thing I did on the car, was expose this area here because it had the Bondo cracking badly, and you can see there's a really bad long patch put in here. It obviously ends here, so, and I see that we've got a fairly thick coating of Bondo down here as well. Anyway, all got to come out eventually. So, I'm not sure what we're going to do here yet, but we'll figure out a way to fix this. Alright guys, so here we're where we're at on this rear patch. So we've cut out two pieces of metal. There's an inner and an outer. So here's the inner that we'll have to replace, and we're going to replace that all the way back. And then here is the outer, which is the flange piece. So there you go. So we'll replace that after we fix the inner. So we're going to try to find some good metal to weld to. You can see it's a little bit rusty down in there. So anyway, we'll see what we can do. See if we can clean this up a little bit and repair that piece first and then put the flange piece back on. Alright guys, quick update. We've got the new inner flange welded in place and we've just got it zinc primed. We're now working on the outer fender skin, rear wing skin basically, that folds over. I am going to reutilize one of the pieces that I took off of here as a template piece, so it's going to go something like that back on there and then be spot welded to the inner flange. I also did cut out this little square. This is where the brazed in patch was, or part of the patch. So we've just cut that out. You can see that patch there. So we've cut that out, so we're going to put another little proper patch in there and get that area fixed up, and then make the entire flange and bend it over, spot weld it against the inner flange. So we're making progress. It's looking better. So another probably a couple hours or so and we'll have this side done. Alright guys, quick update for you. I think it's about 8:30 or so, and I think we've got that back corner and the tail light nacelle looking much better than it was. The patch went in okay here. I'm trying not to over grind it because the metal is fairly thin up in here. Like I said, there's been a patch put in here already, as you know. So we'll put a little scratch coat of probably short strand fiberglass and then a little bit of filler on top of that when we get ready to prep the car. So we'll leave it like that for now. So anyway, I think it looks okay. So on to the next project, and I've got a couple lights shining on the front of the car here. I still do need to do the other side of the car as far as the tail light's concerned, but I figured I like to mix projects up a little bit, so we'll maybe tomorrow we'll start on the front of this car. I don't know if you can see that or not. There's a little bit of light shining through the kickboard up there. So I'm pretty sure I've got some pinholes that I need to take care of there. So maybe we'll have a look at that tomorrow and see what we can do as far as fixing up that rust there. I also see a little bit of light coming through the inner sill, so we'll have to have a look at that as well and see if we can repair that easily. Okay guys, that's it for now. We'll see you tomorrow. So we cleaned a little bit of debris away from the bottom of that kickboard and the front bulkhead, and you can see the pinholes now with the light shining through. So that definitely needs to be repaired. I think we'll try to start on that tomorrow. It looks like a bit of the inner sill needs to be repaired as well. So we'll jump on that hopefully as well. I'm not looking forward to welding way up there at the front of the car. The kickboard's not so bad because I can weld from the outside, but the sill I've got to be pretty much in the car to do that, and I'm not looking forward to it. See you tomorrow.